Speaking of enjoyable football, guys, we got to see a Cowboys versus Eagles showdown. And let me tell you, this game is starting to change some people's tunes on the Dallas Cowboys. But for others, they're saying, you barely beat us to our backup quarterback in Gardner Minshew. Which one of you two wants to start off first? Did this game stamp the idea the Cowboys can beat the Eagles no matter where the place may be? And more notably, does this make you more comfortable in them after these last couple of tough weeks against the Texans and Jaguars?
Uh, I'll take this one because I know Brandon was super hype about that game. So I'll just be short and sweet with it. I'm gonna sing the same tune that you just said, John. Gardner Minshew went into Dallas and almost stole a game from the Cowboys there. I believe they had a two-score lead at one point. It was throwing the hell out of the football. Devontae Smith put on a receiving clinic. And I gotta say, them going in there and losing by the score that they did, I feel like it just says more about how good this Eagles team is because Jalen Hurts, their MVP, wasn't on the field and they're still doing that. So yeah, I'd like to believe that if Jalen Hurts is on that field, they win the game. I'm not going to say handedly, but I'm saying they win that game. I have enough respect for the Cowboys. But that game showed something that's very glaring in this on this Cowboys team. And as good as that defense was in the beginning of the season, this is back-to-back weeks now. You gave up 40 points to the Jaguars and 34 against Gardner Minshew in that pass game. Teams are looking like they can score on you now. As good as Micah Parsons is and as good as that defense was in the first half, like I said, they're proving to be very vulnerable. And when you're going up against a team as, gadgety as the 49ers, or while yeah, they beat the daylights out of Minnesota, you know, round two may be a whole lot different if you're going up against this team. So I think the Cowboys have a lot to worry about. It was a big win. They absolutely needed it. And I just still feel like Philadelphia is still the team to beat there, man, because if Jalen Hurts is out there, I think Philadelphia wins that game.
uh,
By the way, great to see T.Y. Hilton.
how do I
Big time
want to
place.
Yeah.
how do I want to attack this? First off, the Cowboys defense again, like Justin said, it didn't show up. He didn't mention 0 sacks, 0 QB hits. Uh, Not a good performance by them. For I think 3 straight weeks in a row, they've just not shown up. And Micah Parsons was gassed at the end of that game. I mean, he was damn near begging for a timeout. But listen, the Cowboys defense in terms of turnovers, they got them. They got 4 turnovers that game. But here's the silver lining that I don't think either of you guys can really take away, and I'd love to hear John's thoughts. I know he's probably going to beat around the bush and find some way to disparage him. Dak Prescott, after that first interception, that was just one of the most laziest throws I've ever seen in my life. He came out of that and played. I don't think you could have played any better football from the quarterback position after that interception from Dak Prescott. Still, while getting sacked 6 times, he was able to post 347 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and 6 carries for 41 yards. He had 86.5 QBR. Him and CD, they found that connection yesterday against that vaunted Eagles secondary. Now, you guys brought up that Jalen Hurts wasn't there. If I'm not mistaken, Darius Slay and all those defenders were healthy. And
Not
Dak,
exactly. They're
okay,
missing Chauncey Gardner Johnson,
you're
Avonte Maddox. Their nickel corner left the game. But yeah, you're right. Slay
okay.
didn't have his best day.
Yeah, but again, for the most part, that defense was pretty much healthy. I mean, the Cowboys were missing Leighton Vander Esch. Uh, they're missing basically everybody else besides Trayvon Diggs in the cornerback position as well. So I would say the Eagles are a more healthier team right now than the Dallas Cowboys. And Dak Prescott went out there and absolutely showed up and showed out. So that gave me all the confidence in the world to believe that I think this Dallas Cowboys team is here for it. Now, again, I'm not gonna blow smoke up Mike McCarthy's ass because I don't really I don't believe in him when push comes to shove. While he is a good head coach, he's not the guy that's gonna put you over the edge. But great team win by the Cowboys. CD Lamb showed up. Zeke had an okay day, 16 for Tony Pollard didn't really do much on the ground.
61 receiving though.
Yeah, 61 through the air. He did his thing. But yeah,
Granted,
I'm go ahead.
I'll admit it. This was a near masterclass performance by Dak Prescott. You hit the nail on the head. He throws a pick six in the first quarter, and the Eagles find themselves up 10-0. And I send you all a picture, a screenshot of me betting on the Eagles, throwing a lot of money in this third-party betting app. And basically, from that point on, Dak Prescott was money on third down, one of his best games. And I said to myself, this is the best version of him. There was one play in the first quarter, 3rd and 5. Avonte Maddox grabs hold of him, and he's trying to wrestle Dak to the ground. Dak is able to balance himself while he's got a cornerback just trying to rip at his legs. And then, while he's basically wobbling, losing control, delivers an absolute steamer to Michael Gallup for a first down. I was like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. When Dak plays like this, 27 to 35, 347 yards, and 3 touchdowns after that pick six, this Cowboys offense is damn near unstoppable. That Eagles defense got to him all day long, and while he was taking a lot of sacks, he was doing one hell of a job extending plays. And you gotta give credit where it's due. This Cowboy team feels a lot to me like last year's Rams. The reason why I disparage them is because they don't have Sean McVay. I also don't think Dak's anywhere near, or maybe anywhere is disrespectful. I don't think he's on the same level as Matthew Stafford in those last couple of years. This year he's definitely been better. All that being said, the only reason they won this game was because Jalen Hurts did not play. I love Gardner Minshew, but we're talking about 4 turnovers for an Eagles team this year that has been the high-scoring offense because they've limited all the turnovers. Jalen Hurts' dual threat ability and his ability to limit turnovers is what allows the Eagles to win each and every single week. They don't make mistakes, and their defense makes you pay when you make that costly error. For the Cowboys, you got to give them credit. To force 4 turnovers against an offense this damn good, even if Hurts was not playing, is a testament to their ability to generate splash plays. And when I look at this Eagles offense, even with Minshew, that's an elite group. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not necessarily going to hold it against Dallas for letting Gardner Minshew throw for what was 355. He's a pretty good quarterback, and their weapons are filthy. You hit it, Justin. Devonta Smith or Devontae Smith, he's a stud. He's emerging as a borderline receiver number 1. And for as much credit as we rightfully give to Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle, that guy is so damn quick. He is a great athlete with great hands. He was making plays all day long. So when he paired that up with A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert, I mean, the Eagles are just going to put up points. It's what they do every single week. So I'm not necessarily going to be too critical of Dallas' defense, but ultimately, you guys are right. When they're not getting those turnovers, and when Jalen Hurts is in there, they're not going to get those as many opportunities. Minshew has given them those chances. They're going to be behind the 8 ball. So that's a concern moving forward. But for the time being for the Cowboys, this was a great win. And it's kind of funny to me. I've seen so many Eagle fans saying, y'all barely beat Gardner Minshew. Guys, and I'm an Eagle supporter. Y'all barely beat Cooper Rush. So that to me was a little bit funny. It's like, what are we doing here, fellas?
Yeah.
I mean, you both played each other without your starting quarterback. I don't know why the fans are going back and forth. The Eagles, to me, are still the better team because they have the better coach, they have more depth, and they're more balanced. I also think Hurts is a better quarterback than Dak. But all those things being said, Philadelphia can come out of this L saying to themselves, we're still in really good shape if we can lose 4 starters, one of which being Lane Johnson, and are still in a game with an 11-win Dallas team.
Yeah, I was going to mention that Lane Johnson injury. That's huge, an abdominal injury that I think sidelines him for the rest of the regular season and potentially even more. So they need that number 1 seed, and they seem to be on their way to locking that up anyway. That bye week's going to serve huge for a team that is going to need to be healthy down the stretch.
Right. Expect to miss a couple of weeks at the very least from the abdominal tear. His replacement will be Jack Driscoll, a former 4th-round pick who is a decent depth piece, but not exactly a Pro Bowl right tackle.
Yeah. Those injuries are starting to pile up for Philadelphia, so that's something to keep your eye out for. Also, AJ Brown left the game for I think it's just a couple of plays, but still, he's dealt with injuries over his career in Tennessee, so that's something to. And while I think we're all big fans of Devontae Smith, we all can acknowledge the kid is like 170 pounds, soaking wet with a brick in his pocket. That is small, man. If you that's small.
Randy Moss was a stick.
Randy Moss was 205 pounds, Justin. He was a stick, but he was still 205 pounds, and he was 6'4", and he had a 50-inch vertical. Devontae Smith, he's on the smaller side, and I'm just saying that's wearisome. Okay, you take these big hits, your body's not more adept to taking those hits as the bigger guys like an AJ Brown.
The guy played in Alabama. I don't question. I'm not worried
Didn't
so
he
much
get hurt?
about it.
Didn't he tear his ACL?
Yeah, but that has
I'm
nothing to
thinking
do with
Jalen
it.
Waddle.
I think he tore something though. He still got hurt though. Like, I mean,
Nothing to
I'm
do
not
with
over
his
here
size.
All right, Justin, I understand you might be taking this a little personally, okay? We're all on the short side here. I am just saying he's 6 feet. I think he's 6'1". He's not short. I'm saying size-wise, he's 170 pounds, dude. If you just saw the hit that Derwin James landed on that guy, all
He's
right?
not thick, Justin.
He's not a thick boy, okay? He's not thicky.
He's not AJ Brown.
No, and even look at AJ Brown. AJ Brown takes a little too much punishment sometimes, and he'll get nicked up too. It's something to keep your eye out for. The Eagles are starting to get the injury bug is starting to come around. You know, two major players down on the offensive end. Like John said, C.J. Gardner Johnson went down, and their nickel cornerback. They did lose Robert Quinn, I believe, for the year earlier this month. It hasn't been a good December for the Philadelphia Eagles in terms of injuries. And you never know. Is Lane Johnson going to come back? They expect him to. And when Jalen Hurts comes back too, is that shoulder going to be right? Is he going to be missing passes like he was against Chicago? Like John said, he was careful with the football. He turned it over twice against Chicago through the air, almost lost that game. So you never know with this. So yeah, I think I just think it's a major win for the Cowboys and Dak Prescott, especially for Dak Prescott, because he really showed up.
There's no doubt about it. No doubt whatsoever.